today we're going to talk about hair care tips, and I do understand it is COVID-19 season, yet just today morning I received a call from one of my patients telling that she had severe hair fall. So why are we so worried about hair? See, frankly speaking, hair is something which is not essential to live, right? It's not 100% mandatory that hair is a vital organ. It's not so, but yet, why so many people are really worried? I have hair fall, I have receding of hair, thinning of hair, brittle, frizzy hair. Why so many people are so worried? Simple reason is that hair forms that beautiful framework for the face, and apart from nice, beautiful, spotless skin, hair plays a very vital role in perception of beauty, whether a person is handsome or a girl is beautiful, and also self-perception. When you look into the mirror, that is the one, the hair is the one which makes you feel confident as well as depressed, both the ways. So, in this live session, I'd be glad to answer your questions and queries regarding hair fall. And I'm a dermatologist. I deal with skin and hair problems. I'm from Chennai. And today, I'm going to just tell you a few frequently asked questions which I usually get from my patients regarding hair. So number one question. Doctor, can I use egg white, lemon, milk, etc., which are, shown in YouTube videos and like DIY masks, etc. Can I use that for my hair, for hair growth? Will it really work out? First of all, we all must understand one thing. When you're going to pour water on the skin, is it going to go inside your body or is it going to flow out? It's going to flow out, right? In that situation, where is the hair bulb? The living portion of the hair is actually in the second layer of the skin, which is called the dermis. So in that situation, whenever you're going to put egg or milk or any protein things, whatever you eat, you put it directly on the scalp. You think it's going to penetrate into all those layers and enter into the hair and nourish it? Definitely not. If you want a baby to grow, you have to feed the baby, not apply paste or food on top of the legs or hands which you intended to grow. It's something like that. Each and every hair follicular unit is a separate organ. It's something like eyes, nose, hands and legs. When we do hair transplantations, we see that each and every hair follicle is a separate organ with its own blood supply. It has its own nerve supply, hormonal integration, a lot of signaling going on from the body and to the hair, etc. In that situation, if you want the hair to grow, you have to consume them, you have to eat them, you have to nourish the hair from the root, not simply apply these substances on top of your scalp, which might unnecessarily sometimes cause irritant dermatitis. I've seen people squeezing lemons over their heads, which is really not the point, right? Over the milk or egg. All these things to a certain extent might help to nourish the dead hair, which is equivalent to the horns of the animals, right? That might help to nourish this, but not in any way stop the hair fall or promote hair growth. So this is the thing. Next question. So the answer is no. All these things will be helping you only if you consume them rather than applying it. Okay, let's come to the second question. So, what is the foods? What is the foods that we have to eat? So, madam, you're saying that you have to eat, consume the foods. In that case, what are all the foods that we have to consume? Good point, right? So, just because the doctor is asking you to be in diet, according to me, I always say my patients, it is not the quantity of food, but it is the quality of the food that you are going to eat. So let me mention a few hair power foods. See, number one is avocado. Avocado is rich in vitamin E. It promotes hair growth. It is an antioxidant. All the colored foods, colored fruits and vegetables, very rich in vitamin A and vitamin E and other antioxidants. Citrus fruits like oranges, papaya. So you can drink lemon juice as well. And the other one is spinach. It's very good in folate, folic acid, and fish. Salmon, which is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, different types of berries, which are rich in antioxidants, selenium-rich foods, zinc-rich foods like the mushroom. These are the things which are hair power foods which will help for the hair growth. The simple thing is, yes, sweet potatoes and nuts are also very important. Almonds, you can add up almonds as well. And first of all, I need to tell you one thing here. It is that whenever we are going to eat these foods, patients ask me, Madam, what is the most common reason for hair fall? Why am I getting hair fall? My friend doesn't get it. My sister doesn't get it, but why am I getting it? The single most important reason for hair fall is, I know many people know the answer, it is stress. It is stress. Even in the textbooks it's written, it's the single most important factor. The second most important factor is diet, lifestyle. These two are very crucial. Let me tell you why. This is very interesting. Please note. See, there are certain areas in your body that have a high metabolic rate. What is that high metabolic rate? They keep on growing and growing and growing very fast. Their stem cells, their cellular level, it grows very fast. You go and cut your hair, you get a haircut. In how many days you grow your hair back? You shave your scalp. In how many days you can see the small hairs? In just a very few days, right? You start getting those hairs back. So that much is the growth rate of the hair. It is not in anywhere else in the body except very few places like your bone marrow, your immune cells. They are getting produced very frequently as your hair growth. Your RBC, your blood cells, your WBCs, your immune cells, these are the ones which are getting produced so fast as your hair. Whatever you manipulate in your diet or a little teeny bit of problem in your family life or business, stress or anything that happens immediately shows out in your hair. So that is the area, the hair, your bone marrow is the area which actually requires so much of energy because it's proliferating so fast, it's proliferating so continuously, right? So the first thing you notice if anything is going wrong in your body is your hair fall. So hair fall is not just a cosmetic concern. People, it is not just a cosmetic concern, but it is a warning sign that something is going wrong in the metabolism and this fellow is the first one to get hit by it. Yes or no? And then comes your bone marrow. Your immunity goes less. Your steroid hormone secretion is more. Your stress hormones are geared up. You get that fight, fright, flight response. Your heartbeat increases. Your breathing rate increases. All those things are reflected, number one, in your hair. So, guys, stress, please avoid it as much as possible. Definitely, I know it is easier to say it than doing it, but few minutes of meditation, pranayama and yoga goes a long way, and also sleep is very important. In what way? There is a hormone which is called melatonin. This hormone melatonin is the hormone which produces the sleep. What are the other factors this melatonin is linked to? Number one, it is the hair growth. More melatonin, good hair growth. Number two is pigmentation. Your pigment cells and melatonin has the same ancestor, the same mother. It has one single protein which divides into the one which produces your pigmentation and the one that produces your melatonin. What happens if you suppress the melatonin by not sleeping? The mother is the same, right? The main protein is the same. So when you are going to suppress this branch, this pathway of producing the melatonin, the other pathway is active. It's more active. So your pigmentation is also increased. And lack of melatonin results in hair fall. So that is why people who usually come with the night shift problems, they suffer a lot with the hair fall. I will definitely be talking a lot about all your queries. I'm seeing a lot of queries here, and I'll definitely be answering. One of the questions here is about hair spa treatments. Shall we not do hair spa? Yes, that's a very, very important question, because today's life, everyone wants to get grooming done, keratin treatments, right? There is a lot of things which are getting advertised, like hair botox, permanent straightening, etc. And in the beauty salons, if you go, they keep talking to you about this is keratin and the keratin is hydrolyzed this way and that way, etc. Again and again, the simple answer for this is you do whatever you want with the dead shaft of the hair. Okay, you can dress it, you can style it, you can do whatever you want, you can color it, do whatever you want. But when it comes to the roots, that is the place where you have to be very careful. So do not make sure whatever products you're using for the hair, for the spa treatments, it's not going to touch your skin of the scalp, nor it's going to, penetrate into your roots of the hair. So these are very, very crucial tips. And yes, definitely you can, because it's getting mandatory nowadays to get straightening, etc. done. But permanent straightening, please avoid it, because they use formaldehyde. A lot of salons saying we don't use this, we only use that. But ultimately, let me tell you one simple thing. See, we people, we Asians, we have the wavy hair or a curly hair. Okay, these are the most important ways. Very rarely we have straight silky hair, and those people need not worry, I'm not talking about them. But people having the frizzy hair, it is that the protein is actually in that form. It is wound, the keratin filaments are wound in that format. What do you do? What happens during the spa treatments is, the heat treatment is, what will happen if you're going to heat a protein? It's going to melt. It's going to denature. Okay? So when the protein is going to denature, the link, whatever the link is there, it's going to break. The disulfide bonds, they call it. They'll break, right? And after it breaks, it becomes flat. It loses its natural curvy and it becomes flat. And when they're going to fix it, it's just going to stay like that. But ultimately what's going to happen? You're ending up making your hair more brittle and more fragile, that your hair starts breaking. So these kind of spa treatments will cause the breakage of hair, and will cause more dryness and more frizzing after 3 months correctly, because the stress, shock loss, that's what we call as. After this kind of treatments, exactly 3 months after it, you will notice that there is increased hair fall. And one more thing I need to talk to you regarding the diet for hair growth. I think someone of you has asked me regarding the diet for preventing hair loss. People have one misconception. So yes, as I've discussed before, it is avocado, spinach, berries, and sweet potato, nuts. Good amount of water goes a long way. And egg, protein is the number one thing that is very important to create our hair and also to promote its growth. So what happens when we are going to take the egg, and how should we take it? Please avoid using raw eggs. Do not consume raw eggs. Always consume the boiled eggs. When you're going to consume the raw eggs without boiling or without processing it, It contains an enzyme which is called avidin. This avidin goes and binds to the vitamin H, which is biotin, right? The one that is very important for hair growth. The vitamin H is getting bound in the intestine. When you're going to take raw eggs, the vitamin H that is in the intestine is getting tightly bound to this avidin, and it's excreted from the body, so you don't absorb it, and hence you experience increased hair fall. So do not consume raw eggs for a prolonged period of time, but you can definitely take boiled eggs or eggs in any other format because it contains 100% bioavailable proteins. Yes, I am doing, yes, that's a very nice question, Bipin. Should we use hair oils, and if yes, how often we have to use? Yes, that's one of my FAQs. Is oiling good for hair growth? And is homemade oils in squeezing the hibiscus, etc., is it good? And what oil is actually good? Yes, see, let me make this point very clear. Scalp and face naturally produces oil. Yes, there are glands which are called sebaceous glands, and these will secrete the oil. You try it, you wash your hair and with a good shampoo, and do not oil your scalp for 3 days. You will definitely find that even though you have not oiled, you will find the secretion of oil. Definitely so many people do know that on your face, the T-zone areas, it might sometimes end up being very oily, which is a very annoying problem for all of us. So we are already secreting abundant oil. So why should we go and overload it? Is it not? Oil is only used for grooming purposes. When we have some knots, it is only, especially coconut oil, when we apply it on the scalp and the hair, it is only used for grooming and to make the hair more soft, supple and shiny. And in no way it's going to promote your hair growth. In fact, there are certain good fungi which are present on the scalp. These are called Malassezia furfur. These furfur guys, they are like our tenants, but they are the culprits who cause dandruff. When do they cause dandruff? Is when your oily content in your scalp goes high, or you start eating a lot of junk food and you provide it with a lot of nutrition, or your immunity, your resistance, your soldiers are a little weak. That time your normal resident good fungi, which actually is present in each and every person's scalp, they take advantage of the weak situation and they start multiplying, they start growing. When that happens, what happens is your immunity gears up and it tries to throw away your scalp skin. The skin of the scalp is practically shed away, and that is what is called dandruff, and that is what you see as the flakes. Those flakes are nothing but your own scalp skin with the excess of your own normal fungi residents, which have kind of taken over advantage of our poor situations. Yeah. So the better option for application of oil, if you really want to apply oil, you can apply it like half an hour before you take a hair bath, and then you can wash it off, or you can apply it overnight. But in people who have dandruff, it's a definite no-no, and especially in people who have folliculitis of scalp, that is the small bumps you get on the scalp. In these cases, definitely it is a no-no for oil. Which oil is good and what you can apply is, you can try the gingerly oil. Okay, this is some oil, or gingerly oil. That is very, very good for your hair as well as your scalp, because it inhibits the production of this Malassezia yeast, which is nothing but the dandruff causing fungus. So the other oils like the argan oil, the jojoba oil, these are amazing, and you can apply it for a short contact period and wash it off before your hair bath. And any more questions? Or I'll be going back to my FAQs. Yes, I've got one question here. What to do for seborrheic scalp? Yes, so that's a very good question. So seborrhea is nothing but increased oil production, something like diarrhea. Okay, so it's nothing but seborrhea is increased oil production. So in pubertal age, after we hit puberty, definitely because of the hormonal influences, the oil production goes to the highest level around 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years of age. We cannot reduce the hormones. We cannot stop the oil from being produced, but there's one simple trick we can do. And we actually need the oil. You know why? Oil is actually good. Then why should God, create that kind of a system for us? It is actually good because it inhibits the bad fungi from growing. The tinea capitis we call, that is the patchy hair loss we might get sometimes. We would have seen dogs having patchy hair loss, right? So similar problems may occur for human beings as well. More common in children and not in adults, because children don't have the oily secretion in the scalp, but adults have it, and which inhibits the growth of this bad fungi. Okay, so this is actually good to a certain extent, but sometimes cosmetically it might not be so appealing if you have a drippy, oily scalp, right, which makes your hair more sticky and which aggravates your dandruff, etc. So what do we do for that? Simple thing is, wash your hair frequently with a good quality shampoo. That's as simple as that. And you can avoid using conditioners too much near your scalp. You can use them if your hair is too frizzy or unmanageable. You can use it for the hair shaft. But otherwise, if you have seborrheic scalp, avoid using conditioners because they tend to clog your pores more and they tend to produce the oil even more. And another thing is I would like to discuss as an FAQ is that can we shampoo every day? This is a common question we get. So, and what kind of shampoo we have to use? Or is shampooing every day, is it bad? Will it cause hair loss? See, hair is just like skin. Don't you take bath every day? Don't you brush your teeth every day? It's the same way. There's nothing wrong if you're going to take bath and cleanse your scalp and your hair every day. In fact, scalp requires more cleansing than your skin, because that is the place where it's all covered up and it's not exposed outside. It doesn't get its own fresh breeze, right? So that is the place which actually requires more cleansing. You can use a mild shampoo. People who have dandruff problems, you can use anti-dandruff shampoo with ingredients like selenium sulfide, zinc pyrithione, ketoconazole or cyclopyroxalumin. These kind of ingredients you can check in the list, or you can ask your dermatologist to prescribe you a good condition-based anti-dandruff shampoo, right? Which definitely helps you in controlling dandruff, and you can use it, almost every day. A milder shampoo, you can use it every day. An anti-dandruff shampoo, twice or thrice in a week, you can continue it. And always, we have to remember, whatever shampoo it might be, from whichever company, let it be the best company in the world, whatever it is. Always the contact period should be very, very less. It should be less than a minute. You wash your hair with the water, you lather the shampoo well, let it stay for like 30 seconds to 60 seconds depending upon the oiliness of your scalp, and then you're going to rinse it off. Don't go vigorous rinsing or vigorous. I've seen people applying shampoo and sitting aram se and taking their own sweet time. So that's not how it has to be done. Quick rinsing of the shampoo is very crucial. And the second thing is, when you're going to follow it with the conditioner, as I told you, you have to at least leave 2 to 3 centimeters away from your scalp, and you can apply the conditioner only on your hair. And avoid reapplying shampoos. You apply once and then you're not satisfied. You apply the second time, or you have 3 to 4 brands of shampoo. You try this one, that one, that one. So 2 to 3 times they reapply. That should not be done. And forceful hot water shower on your scalp, that also kindly please avoid it. And when you're going to come out of the shower, that's very important. How do you dry your hair? Some people blow dry, which is an absolute no-no if you don't want breakage hair loss or frizzy hair, dry hair, etc. And what is the best method? Please don't stand in front of the fan and then towel dry it, beat it up, etc. Okay, so you have to be very gentle when you try to cleanse your hair and dry it. Take a clean cotton towel, a dry cotton towel, thin one, just pat dry it. Just pat it dry. Let all the moisture get absorbed onto the towel, and you can just leave your hair without styling it when it's wet, and I think that would take care. Once the hair is dry, you can go ahead and style it. And a person had asked me about hair styling.